Hello, good evening, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the live stream. I am so excited to be here with all of you, despite the fact I was completely unable to come up with a title for this live stream. I literally, I sat there with the thing open, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, there's nothing creative, nothing informational, no title of any significance or relevance could come into my brain. You will have to excuse the extreme PMS brain happening right now. But we're gonna get through it together, you and me, okay? We're gonna do this together. um, Good evening, Andy. I am so glad you're here. Andy's making the coffee. I love me some coffee. Lauren, hello. Lissa's here. I had to scroll through a bunch of messages between Andy and Lauren. Kathy's here. Hello. Lori is here and doing dishes. I love that I am your entertainment while you are getting something productive done. That's great, Lori. Donna, hello. Oh, it is so good to see all of you here, my friends. What to chit chat about this evening? What to chit chat about? I'm gonna need all of y'all's help today to help me keep things going. Okay. People watching the replay, fear not. We always manage to talk, but I'm going to need y'all's help because the brain is just, I'm going to start this conversation by saying I went to Crumble Cookies today and it's a fabulous day when I went to Crumble Cookies. Sorry, I have one rogue hair that's like in my eyelashes and I can't. Okay, we're good. We're good. See, I love coffee so much so that I'm wearing my coffee sweatshirt and it is 7 p.m. It's the last Wednesday of October. I know, Lauren, it is absolutely insane to me. It's absolutely insane that by the next time we meet, it will be November 1st. Really cool that we'll get to meet on November 1st though, because I think that'll be just like a fun, get ready for the new month and let's spend the evening of the new month together. It's super, super exciting. No, it doesn't really matter. I'm so glad you think that, Andy, and I appreciate you being here. I walked by a Crumble today. I ordered, oh my gosh. So for those of you that aren't in the Patreon, which we're going to talk about in just a second, okay? But Alyssa informed me on Sunday in all capital letters because she knows me very, very well. My favorite Crumble cookie that typically only makes an appearance once a year, and it's on Easter week, appeared on their menu this week, and it is my beloved carrot cake. Why do I love the carrot cake cookie? Because it is big, she's thick, she's delicious, and she's cream cheese frosting. And it's delightful. It's just so good. So I knew that I had to go to Crumble Cookies this week. And there's one not far from my house. So it was not even out of my way to be like, and we're going to Crumble. And the best part is when I told my husband it was carrot cookie week and that I was going to Crumble, he didn't even bat an eye. It wasn't we don't need any cookies. It was like, he knows that if the carrot cake cookie is available, I'm going to be going to Crumble and there's nothing he can do to stop me. So what I ended up doing was I went and I purchased a 6-pack. Back up. What I find really interesting is I have lost the compulsion to go to this restaurant. Can you even call it a restaurant? Is it a restaurant? I don't even know. But I used to have such a pull towards Crumble cookies, even on weeks that the flavor choices were mediocre at best. If I was anywhere in the vicinity, I wanted to go. I wanted to treat myself. Why? Because I can. And it was just this compulsion to have this, almost an act of rebellion to have this access to this Crumble. I have started and have embraced intuitive eating. The compulsion isn't even there anymore. It literally took them launching my favorite cookie for me to go, I should go to Crumble Cookies this week, which is mind-boggling to me. Yes, Donna, I see your comment. Right after we told you, don't worry, that cookie is not coming until April. Apparently I lied to you because it came out the very next week, which I think is hilarious. We the universe and boom, there it is. We got our carrot cake cookie in October instead of April. But oh my goodness. So I went to Crumble Cookie today and I got myself a 6-pack. And when I say myself, I got it from me and my husband. I share. I'm not completely selfish. And that ended up being um also today in the Discord channel, I discussed how I think one of those for 2024 needs to be how to start sentences without saying first. And apparently it happens when I have not completely thought out my thought and I just feel compelled to make filler noise. I'm sure I'm not alone. If you sat in front of a camera and recorded yourself talking, how many times would you say like, or some sort of filler word of your choosing? Because sometimes you have like your own little unique one. But so know that I am actively working on the ums. I'm trying. Maybe don't call me out on it yet because I'm not going to be perfect. It's like day one, but I just heard myself do it and I was like, are you kidding me? Even in the live streams. Come on now. Anyway, I went and I got myself a 6-pack. 2 cake cookies, 2 honey bun cookies, and then 2 cookies that I have never tried before. I did the pumpkin brownie, and then I got the strawberry cheesecake because once you look at one Crumble cookie related TikTok, I just stopped myself from doing it again. Once you look at one Crumble cookie related TikTok goes, you want to watch Crumble cookie videos? Let me give you 500 more. So I ended up seeing like 5 different reviews of people's thoughts on this week's lineup. And every single time people rave about the strawberry cheesecake one. So I grabbed a strawberry cheesecake one as well. Have I had a sliver of every single one of those cookies since being home? Yes, I have. And here are my opinions that nobody asked for. Carrot cake, of course, thebomb.com. Every single time, you cannot change my mind. Pumpkin brownie. So reviews on this were very, very mixed. And a lot of people said the pumpkin is very artificial tasting. Here's Andy, every week you say something that just reminds me of my father. Because that is something that my dad, who, mind you, I've seen one of Andy's photos before. He kind of looks like my dad, got the long gray beard, and he has CMT. So I just think it's hysterical how much you two have in common, truly. So I got mixed reviews on the brownie one, the brownie pumpkin brownie. So here's the thing. I don't know if any of y'all have tried it, let me know. I didn't taste any pumpkin. It tasted like super sweet buttercream frosting, which I'm not mad about. I'm not mad if you give me a brownie with buttercream frosting on it. Just don't call it pumpkin unless it's going to taste like pumpkin. And quite frankly, I'm okay with it because pumpkin and chocolate is one flavor combination I have a hard time with. It's a good cookie. Is it a pumpkin cookie? I don't think so, but it's a good cookie. The strawberry cheesecake, excellent. Liked it more than I thought I would. I think it's just cream cheese frosting, but it's got that nice strawberry jelly thing on top. Very good. And the honey bun is actually a surprise. I bought 2 of them because I've had it before and I thought that it would be just like fine, and it ended up being excellent. So I bought it again. The one flaw is that I think my lovely little baker at my Crumble got the edges just a little bit too crispy this time. But you know what? It's fine. It's good. So I got myself some Crumble cookies, and then this will be my high. If y'all want to start sharing your highs and lows, by all means, please start doing that. My high for the week, other than the fact that choir rehearsal on Monday was awesome, and I sang at church this weekend, and that was awesome. Like overall, like autumn leaves everywhere. It's a good life. It's a good life. I had a friend come over this afternoon to pick something up from me. She needed to borrow an air filter. We had an extra air filter. So I was like, yes, of course, you can come and borrow this thing. And she came in my house and, took off her shoes to stay for a minute. And I had just returned with the half a dozen of Crumble cookies. And I was like, can I convince you to stay for some cookies? And she was like, oh no, I couldn't take any of your cookies. And I was like, Christy, you can take some of my cookies. There is no need for my husband and I to consume 6 Crumble cookies before they go bad. Please, I beg you, have some cookie with me and I'll give you some decaf coffee. And she's like, okay, you've sold me. And she was at my house for like an hour in the middle of the workday and it was just lovely. It was a lovely time. So my special little afternoon date with a friend in my house was definitely like my high. So there's that. Let's see what's going on. Kim, a good rainy evening. It has been raining here. There is a snowflake on our Apple weather thing. This is like the 10-day forecast, if you didn't know what I was trying to mimic, and or mime or whatever that is. And we're seeing lows that have 2 as the starting digit. I might have ordered a king size electric blanket for our bed yesterday, and it should be here by Saturday before the extremely cold temperatures come, and I am so excited about it. So excited. Thank you, Andy. I thought you might like my sweater. I stopped halfway through reading the post to tell you about the crumble cookie because it seemed urgent to tell you. Yes, and it was urgent. That is an urgent thing. I was very, very, very excited. I went to visit what, Grace? What did you visit? I hope it's oh wait, here we go. You finish your statement. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Once they put a couple crumbles near me, the compulsion went away, right? Once it had like this, and that's true. It went from being this incredibly rare thing to when I got one 10 minutes from my house, it got to be a less rare thing. And I did end up, at first I was compelled to go weekly, and then that compulsion quickly went away. But now, like, there's no compulsion unless it is a flavor that I just can't stop thinking about. There's less of a compulsion. And quite frankly, it took me until Wednesday to go to Crumble instead of like showing up Monday when they open, you know? I redeemed my free birthday cookie at the last minute because I kept waiting for a cookie to call to me. Hi, Paulette. Good to see you. Mini cookies at my local store were still limited edition. My nearest Crumble is 4.5 hours away. Never been, but I might take a vacation day to do it and buy all the things. Oh my gosh. Do it. Like, do it. So here's the thing. There are likely cookie companies out there, especially depending on where you live. A lot of these cookie companies are like based in Utah. Why does Utah get all of the good cookies? I don't know. But there's like a direct competitor of Crumble, I think is also based out there, and they're supposed to be really good too. I don't know. But for what is accessible to me in the Midwest, Crumble is like the cookie place, right? So go when you feel called to the flavors. If you have to make a journey to do it, like look up the flavors and be like, yes, there's at least 2 or 3 that I'm pumped to try. Go that week. Make it an adventure. I'm here for it. I went to my sister today and she lives close to a Crumble. She had a 4-pack and I took a sliver from 2. She asked if I wanted to go to Crumble, but I wasn't tempted. Look at you, Grace. I would love an update. You've been quiet in our Discord channel lately. I would love an update on how things are going with Fall into Fitness and things like that. Do you get a cream slice over there? I don't know what that is, so I'm going to guess no. Liz says, hi, I had an issue with my unemployment claim that was resolved within a few hours, which is completely unheard of, and I got to spend time with a friend grocery shopping on Monday. That's awesome. Mine's about 40 minutes, but I don't drive anywhere that isn't local. Love it. Love it. What's funny is for me, 40 minutes is still local. Like my choir rehearsal is 40 minutes away, and that's still local. Got into a minor car accident. Oh, you're low. I got into a minor car accident on Sunday, and that means a lot of calls dealing with insurance. That's a bummer. Have you seen oversized hoodies yet? I mean, I know they exist. I know that there are oversized hoodies that are basically Sherpa blankets, but in hoodie form. I'm not above getting one of those. But also, can it have a heating component in it? That's the dream. That is the dream. A Sherpa blanket that I can wear with a hood that has a heater in it. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Hi, my body is feeling good. I want more details. And I want to know if the intuitive eating thing has anything to do with it, because I hypothesize that the answer is yes. Why? Because my body also feels really good. Really good. Like I have felt, yes, I've had tired days and this, that, and the other thing, but all in all, full picture, I have felt incredible these last 2 months or so. Like I've been doing the intuitive eating for 4 months now, almost, is it almost 5? I don't even know. But I've been feeling great. And something interesting, which we're going to hormone talk. Sorry, Andy. literally, like I said, PMSing. Like Aunt Flo should have come yesterday. So like we're at the door, right? She's a knocking, right? I feel awesome. I feel awesome. My brain's a little bit foggy. My energy, my get up and go isn't quite as get up and go, but all things considered, like on a scale of 0 to utterly hellacious PMS, I'm nowhere over here. Nowhere. And I'm baffled because this is the second month in a row that has been the case. And Flo showed up. She wasn't intrusive in any way, and she just kind of left. And I anticipate, now watch, it's going to end up being like terrible tomorrow, but we'll see. Nothing crazy has happened. No crazy PMS. Mildest of mild mood swing last night, but like nothing. Explain it. I feel fabulous. I feel fabulous. Bang cookies. Isn't that another really good one? Crumble is superior. I feel like I've ordered from Bang Cookies before. Have I ordered from them before? I didn't do as much exercise as I planned because my body said no, and I'm okay with it as a high. I love that. My body was okay with getting my hair done. Oh, good. Win. I haven't worn an Apple Watch in a week, and I went on my first ever solo hike on Monday, which is a great calf workout. I love it. You guys are just, the celebrations are coming, and I am so happy. I am here for it. My cookies come from the local farmer's market. They're awesome. Love it. Still working on getting used to not having anything tracking my activity. It's been an up and a down thing emotionally. I love it. I mean, that's normal, right? That's normal. So you're adapting, you're adjusting, you're working through it, and that's great. And I'm proud of you. I actually got almost praise. I'm so happy for you because I know that you have been struggling with that. That is a big deal. Oh, I need one. I did order. So far in the orders that are coming to me is another electric blanket throw blanket because I can't be bothered to keep bringing the one I have upstairs and downstairs and upstairs and downstairs. So I will now have one for upstairs and I will have one for downstairs. And then the king size electric blanket, which is coming hopefully by Saturday for our bedroom. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I have to be fully immersed in Minnesota winter for almost the entirety of winter this year. So I need, and my goal is to have a good attitude about it and really try very, very hard to not let winter get the best of me. I'm not saying that the dial won't be turned down, but I'm saying instead of maybe getting down to a 4 or 5, maybe it turns down to a 6 or a 7. Like I'm just trying to make it a little bit more bearable. So any way that I can do that. Need to add the comfy to my wish list for Christmas. I started doing low impact exercise. That's great, Paulette. And low is I've been so tired, probably because you started exercising, and that's okay. That's okay. Good work. 3 layers of puff pastry cream between each layer and a thin. I have never had that. I did not know that was a thing. It sounds delightful, quite frankly, Andy. Sounds good, Andy. Yep. My get up and go got up and gone. There are days that I feel that. Sunday, y'all. Sunday. Hang on, I'll get to Grace's thing in a second. Sunday, I got up at 5 a.m. We went to bed at 11. Why? Because we're fools. Not really, we just weren't tired. But I was like, well, one bad day of sleep. Like one day of less than adequate. Like it was 11 to 6. Not awful, right? Not awful. And so I got up. I did the energy. I did the thing. One of the girls that I was on worship team, well, the only other girl I was on worship team with, and I went and got coffee in between rehearsal. That was at 6:30, and the time we actually had to perform at 10:30. I tried the Starbucks iced apple crisp oat milk espresso drink. Excellent. It was very, very good. The problem is evidently it had more caffeine in it than I was ready for. And out of nowhere, about 10 minutes before we were supposed to go on stage, I looked at my friend Molly and was like, I am wired. Like, wired. And she, being pregnant, had half calf of whatever her thing was. And she too was wired on this. So, like, I don't know what our Starbucks was doing, but they just amped it up. And so I was not enough sleep, super wired on caffeine, lots of energy stuff. Went for a hike at the Arboretum, went grocery shopping, came home, and the energy leaving my body. Talk about the get up and go, get up and gone. Sunday evening was a challenge, let me tell you. Low family issues are stressing me out. Working on joyful movement and my spiritual journey. I love the spiritual journey. I'm sorry you're having family issues, but I love what you're working on. That's great. That is great for you. I have ordered Bang before. That's what I thought. I deleted my QB app. Wow. Wow, Lissa. That's huge for you. My hoodie is so warm. Oh, man. Someone on the IE Facebook page mentioned that I might have lost weight due to vanity. While that certainly can be a part of it, I needed to be healthier, off certain meds, and no longer pre-diabetic. And it's possible. A lot of the people start with health intentions and it keeps going for vanity reasons. And that's when people start to get held onto the scale, right? The scale, we don't freak out about the scale because, oh my gosh, I'm going to gain 5 pounds and end up pre-diabetic. The people freaking out about the scale aren't worried about that. They're worried about the scale. Just the scale. Only the scale. That's it. It has nothing to do with the health at that point, right? It has nothing to do with the health at that point. By the time you cross the threshold of weight loss being for health, you're not freaking out about the scale yet. You haven't developed that really. You're just like, oh, well, look at it go down. And oh, like you're still in that learning experience. But then there comes a point when you cross that threshold into losing weight to health. You're like, okay, great, I'm there. Like it's like me. I should have stopped losing weight for health 15, 20, 25 pounds before I stopped, right? So my number was not for health. It was not for health at all. And admitting that is the first step to recovery. I bought myself a cheap $12 watch. Hey, that's great. And if you have a watch that makes you feel pretty, that's even better, right? So, first, an announcement, friends. An announcement because I want to put it out there because it's one of those things where messy action is better than no action at all. My Patreon community is no longer being hosted on Patreon. For those of you that didn't see that announcement in Discord, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Go over to Discord and read it. Nothing is changing except where we are hosting it. I am moving my Patreon from Patreon to Kajabi. So I have to stop calling it my Patreon because it's now just the Diva and the Divine membership community. It still costs the same. You still get all the perks of a monthly goals call, a monthly community chat, silent co-working sessions, and the private Discord channel. And we'll have the new community interface on Kajabi, as well as they have the thing that like pushed me over the edge to change it is they have a challenges feature built right into the interface where I can set up any challenge I want. Fitness, goals, a habit of some kind, drink your water, check in with yourself, check in with whatever the heck my little heart desires. I can set it up for up to 30 days at a time, and it is hosted in the Patreon, in the Kajabi community. I'm so excited. I'm so excited and I cannot wait. I'm already brainstorming things that we should be doing for November. I'm thinking maybe an hour phone free every day challenge for the month of November. I don't know. The members will have some input. So all of that to say, if you have been on the fence about joining the paid community for Diva and the Divine and leveling up that community membership, I put the link to the Kajabi membership down below. If you are already a member, I talked about in the Discord channel and in my little post that I posted today, how to make this transition. If you are somebody who paid annually, message me because I have a special workaround for you, but everybody should transition over there. It's going to be super fun, super cool. I cannot wait to learn how to utilize all of the features because I think it's going to just be a lot of fun. It's going to be new. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, the challenges, really excited about that. I still have some setting up of things to do on the back end. So bear with me as I learn and grow with the system. I moved it over to Kajabi because I also am going to be building out my coaching on Kajabi and my courses on Kajabi. Fall into Fitness is currently being hosted over on Kajabi. So I'm doing all of that over there. If you are not a member of the Diva District, as we are called, we'd love to have you. We would love to have you. If you have any questions, ask away. There are members of the Diva District here in the chat right now. You can ask me whatever you want. It's a great, fun, exciting place to be, full of really, really supportive, diverse people. And we'd love to have you. So the link to that is down below if you are interested in joining. And I think that is my only announcement for the day. Thank you, Andy. Did you know men can suffer from menopause too? Yes, I've heard it's like, I've heard male menopause. I don't know the details, but I've heard of it. That's another one. I've been pretty much phone free for about 4 to 5 hours on Sundays. That's great. That was one of like the biggest perks of getting together with my friend today was I realized we went about an hour without either of us even looking at our phones. And I was like, man, that was so freeing to just detach because I, especially this month, boy, oh boy, am I looking forward to Vlogtober being over because all I have been doing is looking at screens. I'm either looking at my phone screen, I'm either looking at my computer screen as I edit videos, or I'm looking at this screen right here. This is me looking at the screen, filming myself. That has been literally my entire month. And I'm tired of looking at screens. And I'm working on this course and I'm working on this membership. I'm doing all these things on screens. I'm like, I just don't want to look at screens anymore. Our internet went down for a couple of hours yesterday. And you know what? It was kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. It was wildly inconvenient because even with the excuse of like, well, I can't do any work because the internet doesn't work, I couldn't like sit and watch TV either. So I'm like, well, because we don't have any cable. Everything that we do is streaming. But at the same time, I was like, well, I could do some cooking. So I prepped my pork for the evening, did like a deep cook on these potatoes. It was a long potato experience yesterday, y'all. And I reorganized my nightstand and like I just disconnected. I disconnected. Things I've learned about myself recently though is that the Discord app needs to not be on my phone because I can just spend all the time in the world there talking in the Discord channels and doing all those things. I'm like, is this really the best use of my time? I don't know. When I can put it on my computer and not have it's interesting. How many of you can relate to this? The computer is business. The computer is work. The computer is business. I don't get sucked into the computer the way I get sucked into this stupid thing. I could literally be running the exact same apps on my computer and on my phone, and this thing will suck me in, but this thing means work. Make it make sense. I don't know. Detaching is another benefit of going to regular. Yeah. The detachment. I'm big on. I'm already brainstorming goals for 2024. And goals for November. Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, backtracking to the join the membership. If you join the membership before this time tomorrow, you will be able to come to tomorrow night's goal setting chat. If you needed a little bit of incentive, that's a Zoom chat. I think I can work it out so it's a Zoom chat. I'm going to set it up. We have like a meetups feature in the Kajabi thing. So like all of our meetings and everything can be like either hosted right in there or posted about, and you can add them to your calendar. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that I have yet to figure out. But tomorrow night is goal setting chat for my paid community members. And so I've been brainstorming all of these goals. And I started listening to, John Acuff, who you're just going to hear me talk about ad nauseum. Y'all, he is the second book where I listened to the audiobook and I went and I purchased the hard copy of the book so I could go back, read it again, and highlight. It's not coming until tomorrow, but that's fine. That's fine. And I'm very excited to sit down with listening to the audiobook again and the book and just highlighting the living daylights out of this book. Because the problem is, I remember the general premise of the information, but the details of the information, I don't remember enough to be able to implement them because I'm apparently a visual human being. I am a visual human being. I have a photographic memory. So I'm a visual human being. So why do I do audiobooks for books that, well, I know why. I know why. Because it was on Scribed and I don't have to pay for Scribed until like 2025. That's why I did the audiobook. Anyway, it's coming and I'm going to re-devour this book because I want to have all of this goal setting stuff fresh in my brain for upcoming goal setting season. But in the interim, I was like, let me go to his podcast, which is also called All It Takes Is a Goal, for those of you that are interested. And let me see what he has on goal setting. And one of the things I found an episode about, I think, New Year's resolution goal setting. And here's my tip for you. Whether you decide to join us for the chat tomorrow or not, whether you are a Power Sheets user or just thinking things over, whatever. When it comes to goal setting, it is very, very easy for us to, like, let's use my Power Sheets, for example. I'm pointing to them. You guys can't see them. You don't care. In the Power Sheets, there's 8 sections. There's your final product. When you hold up here are my goals for the year, it's 8 different sections. You have 8 goals. Sometimes it's a little too much pressure, and then perfectionism can creep in such a way where setting those 8 goals becomes a very stressful thing. Oh my gosh, what if I don't pick the perfect goal? But what if it is between this and we get real stressed out about picking the perfect goals for the year, for the month, for the quarter, whatever, right? So his suggestion was just crazy brainstorm style. He calls it like American Idol style. You know how you get all of the contestants and little by little you start to weed them out. So step 1 for the goal setting is to write down any and all goals that might be cool for you to do. Any and all goals you think you should have, any and all goals that are exciting to you, no matter how small, large, crazy, audacious, normal, regular, seemingly mundane, whatever the goals are. And just make yourself a big old list. Make yourself a big old list. And then you have the power to edit that list however you see fit. And it's a much more stress-free, lower anxiety, low commitment way to do it. So I have already actually started, I'm using an app called Things 3. And in that, you can have different projects and categories. So I have a whole category that's just for goals. It's not going to, there it goes. Come on. Just for goals. And then I have different projects that are the different areas of life where I am setting goals. And then underneath those, I can pull out, I have an active to-do list in each one of goal options. So right now, I'm already brainstorming goals for 2024 because just as they pop in the head, pop into my head, as random as they might be, I've thought about one that I this morning, was it this morning? It might have been yesterday. I was trying to set a crazy step goal. Like just one crazy massive number. And I'm like, what's the right number? 4 million? 4.5 million steps? Like, how crazy would it be to be like, I wanted to do 4.5 million steps this year. Like why? Because why not, right? So if you do the math, and I sat and I actually did the math for a while, but like that sounds absolutely insane, right? But if you do 4.5 million divided by 365, that's 12,300 steps a day. So like that's a lofty step goal, but also it's not completely unattainable, right? So just anything that's crossing my mind is going in this list. And it's been kind of fun. So let this be encouragement to you as we casually roll into November. My aunt called me today. My aunt called me today and said, "Hey, do you have anything on your birthday list this year? You haven't sent over a birthday list yet because my birthday is on the 14th." And Is that a Wednesday? What day of the week is my birthday, y'all? Oh, close. My birthday's on a Tuesday. We'll have to celebrate my birthday on the 15th then. Oh, 2024 is a leap year. Wow. Fantastic. So, yeah. Yeah. I can't. So as we casually stroll into November, I stress out just thinking about November, and it's 1 week away. Why am I stressed out? Because there's 100,000 things happening. The most exciting one is my birthday, which is hilarious because I don't do anything exciting for my birthday anyway, so it's fine. I just like to, celebrate the day because why the heck not? But there's just so much else happening that I was like, oh no, I don't even I'm already stressing out about it. Already stressing out about it. But that doesn't mean that we can't stop and think in a leisurely and casual and not anxiety provoking way. We can look ahead to the goal setting season ahead, because what comes after November? December. And that's when, all of you'll hear all the goal setting companies, Cultivate What Matters, Moxie Life. I don't even know what other ones are out there. Everyone's going to be talking about goal setting. Heck, I'm going to be talking about goal setting. Why? Because I will be going through it myself. It's crazy. So take some time now to prevent this anxiety, to prevent this overwhelm, and just to allow yourself to have a good time with it. No goal is stupid. No goal is too ridiculous to be worth writing on this master list of potential goals to set for the new year. Have fun with it. One of the best goal setting prompts, was it a goal setting prompt? That or encouraging, motivating, goal setting prompt that I heard that I love to play with is, wouldn't it be cool if? And I think I originally heard this from, I'm going to say Marie Kondo, and that is not at all her name, Marie Forleo. I heard it first, I think, in Marie Forleo's book, The Wouldn't It Be Cool If game. And then I heard it again from Catherine Zenkina, who is also known as the Manifestation Babe. Both of them have said very similar things about this. But the concept is, you sit down and at the top of the page, you write, wouldn't it be cool if? And then you finish the sentence. However many times you need to finish the sentence. Wouldn't it be cool if I had $1 million in the bank? Wouldn't it be cool if I had 100,000 subscribers? Wouldn't it be cool if I owned insert fancy car, bag, purse, pair of jeans, whatever the case may be? Wouldn't it be cool if I got out of debt? Wouldn't it be cool if we moved into our dream house? Wouldn't it be cool if I doubled my income this year? Wouldn't it be cool if I got a new job? Wouldn't it be cool if I got another dog that wasn't a completely neurotic bozo? Wouldn't it? I'm not going to replace Gracie. Don't worry. Wouldn't it be cool if I got into a show this year? Wouldn't it be cool if that pair of jeans that's a little bit too tight fit better? Wouldn't it be cool if, how fun of a game is that? I think that's a super fun game that I'm personally very intrigued by. And it is a game that I don't play frequently enough, because it really gives you perspective for not just the goals that you're like, I should set these goals, but you're not going to finish that sentence with something that doesn't actually sound cool to you. And I know a goal like, wouldn't it be cool if I have zero balance on my credit cards, sounds mundane, boring, a practical goal. But it's a really good goal to have, a really solid, inspiring, awesome goal to have, right? And so wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, heck yeah, it would. So there's another game for you to play as we're brainstorming, as we're writing things down with reckless abandon. Game with yourself. I'm very, very intrigued to know what some of your cool goals are, because you can come up with some pretty cool stuff if you stop and you allow yourself to think of that instead of what are my goals for the year? What would it be cool if I did this year? It's a different perspective on the same question, right? Oh, goodness. Let's see. I actually find it harder to resist Discord on the computer. I can put my phone on Do Not Disturb and not get any notifications. Here's the thing. I don't get any notifications from Discord. I have all social media notifications disabled. I don't even get email notifications on my phone. I have no Instagram messages, nope. Nothing. The only social media apps that are allowed to send me notification are Voxer and Marco Polo. And that's because I use them for my one-on-one coaching clients. Those are the only two apps considered social media that have any power to notify me of anything. I will not get a single notification from any social media app. And if for whatever reason, like on some random Instagram account, because I have a couple of Instagram accounts plugged into the one login, I start getting like random, like Gracie's Instagram account will start giving me notifications. I will go back into Instagram and make sure that every single notification is shut down. I do not want a single social media notification. I even have Slack notifications turned off, which maybe I shouldn't, but I do. So that's not the problem. The problem is I just feel a compulsion to open it every 2 seconds because if I open Instagram and that's boring, I can just keep searching for the dopamine hits. And Discord is one of my dopamine hits. Up to 8 goals. Yes, up to 8 goals. 366. I saw that comment already. Now I'm behind on comments. I've been really brainstorming health and fitness goals that have absolutely nothing to do with numbers of any kind. So no step goals. All right. What have you come up with? I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know what you've come up with because I don't know. Wait, let's hear. Hang on. Green is health and fitness, right? Health and wellness. What are some goals? So, okay. Just for funsies here, some examples, because here's the thing, in the Cultivate What Matters things, not a single one of these has anything to do with a number, but there's cultivate my health. What does that mean to you? Cultivate my wellness, cultivate a healthy mind, cultivate a healthy body, grow in community, be a generous friend, care for my mind by going to therapy, thrive through screen time boundaries, find a self-care rhythm that fuels me, find and join a gym, fitness class, run club, or similar activity-based group, learn how to meal plan, quit smoking, find a new health provider and establish relationships for regular cadence of care, find a healthy work-life balance, get active outdoors, grow and tend to a garden, streamline meal planning, write a will, and then they say adopt a insert whatever diet, gluten-free, vegetarian, whatever diet works for you. So that's some of their suggestions. This is in their old thing. But technically, none of those have anything to do with numbers. So then when you go, cultivate my health. Well, what does that mean to you? It's true. And I have to get over that impulse. On the desktop app. I don't have a notification on my desktop app. Literally, the only way I know is if I look, like I had an unread message from you that I did not know about until I just clicked on Discord just now. Actually it wasn't unread, but it still had the notification on. Yeah, no. I have no notification button whatsoever. There's no and I've started also, so at the bottom of my screen, I find that I'm compelled by the little red bubbles. So I close my email app now. If I'm not actively checking my email, I don't just minimize it. I exit the app, quit. So there's no red notification bubble. It's true. Trackable action steps that aren't about numbers. Yeah, it's more of a habit thing, right? It's more of a habit. And I'm still trying to figure out and brainstorm, like, what do my health goals for 2024 look like? Because quite frankly, intuitive eating wasn't on the list for 2023. So what do I do with that information now that I know, okay, so I'm an intuitive eater. From here on out, from now till the end of the earth, I am an intuitive eater. What do I do with that information when it comes to a health goal? I don't know. And this is kind of the stuff I have to mull over and think about. And I don't know. I really don't know. Ironically, now I have a notification from Zoom. because apparently that's a thing. I don't know why I have a notification. Oh, the team chat. Interesting. Was there a meeting tonight, y'all? Healthy people? Because I never got logged out. So the meeting should be happening now. Is it happening? Michelle, good to see you. Hello. I was gonna say happy Wednesday, but I saw you once already today. Hello again. Yeah. Oh, my friends. Oh, my friends. So there's a lot happening up in here. A lot swirling. And it's really easy to get I have to be very cautious of a couple of things. I have to be very cautious of the overwhelm that leads to shut down, because if I start to get too overwhelmed with even the perspective of all good things, I start to shut down and just want to do nothing. And I don't know how to stop that. Don't know how to stop it. I'm open to suggestions, but like it's an impulse that I have that I don't know what to do with. Anytime, like no matter how exciting it is, like we have holiday travel coming and Christmas shopping and my choir concert and goal setting and planning ahead for some holiday content, all of these things. And I'm just like, and I kind of want to shrink into a ball and go play my silly game that I keep playing that I spend way too much time on, but it's really entertaining. And Cora has a meeting now. That's weird because I never got logged out of Zoom. I usually I get the someone has signed into your account and I'm still signed into Zoom. Actually, just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to quit Zoom because I don't need you until tomorrow. So that's fine. Goodbye. Anyway, you're getting just a bunch of thoughts that are swirling in my head this evening, my friends. You're welcome for that. Is there anything y'all need from me? Do you have any questions? Do you have any topics that you would like me to cover? Do you have anything in particular that you want to hear me randomly word vomit about? Let me know. Let me know. It's really more about the mindset shift after years of goals surrounding stuff. I know it. Don't I know it? It is the first year, like really, truly, officially, 2024 is going to be the first year that I go into goal setting without without a desired number for like, I would like to lose 20 pounds. I would like to weigh X, Y, and Z. It's not happening. It's not happening in 2024. And part of my brain doesn't know how to compute that, because if not a weight loss goal, then what? Talk about diet culture, right? If not a weight loss goal, then what's a health goal worth setting? Well, let me remind y'all that it is in fact possible to have health goals outside of weight loss. And here's another thing. And this is something we talked about in the healthy meeting today. It is also important and necessary to disconnect the term health from the term weight loss, because sometimes, arguably most of the time, they're not synonymous. If you are sick, if you are injured, if you are healing, if you are under eating, all of these things, the scale needs to not matter. The scale needs to not matter. And the scale is not necessarily indicative of the health consequences that you are going through. But you need to fuel your body for health. And that's really what I'm going to lean into in 2024. I mean, it's what I'm doing now, right? Ultimately, the desire is to continue to, maybe I'll try new recipes more often. Maybe I'll I don't know, make a Fab Four meal every single. I don't know what it's going to be. But just because there's no weight loss goal there doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, health goals, goodbye. We don't need any health goals. Because it's always good even if you don't even if one of your concrete goals doesn't have anything to do with health, it's always good to have a goal of maintaining or improving your health in some way. That does not need to mean a smaller number on the scale. It doesn't need to mean that. My BMI is above the normal BMI. I am considered to be overweight. I might even be considered obese. I can't remember. My health is not tied to that number. It's not. So keep that in mind as you're sitting there going, well, what are my goals? Especially for my friends. I know there's a lot of you in here who are dabbling in the intuitive eating lifestyle. You have to remember to disconnect that scale number from your journey, from the intuitive eating, from the health goals. Just because you're intuitively eating doesn't mean you don't have to have health goals, or you can't have health goals. You can. And don't let an anti-dieting book tell you otherwise. You can still have goals for your health, but they don't have to be tied to a number on the scale or to a smaller article of clothing. It could be a happy side effect. Could be a happy side effect, but it shouldn't be the goal. Is it possible to work on tracking when learning to listen to your hunger cues? Yes, it is. It is possible. Because they're not necessarily connected. But, and this is a heavy but, you need to be able to disconnect the numbers on the tracker from the amount of food that you actually consume. And what I mean by that is this: if you track this awesome meal that is 600 calories in your brain, oh, tracker who has been tracking religiously for years and years and years, I'm not talking to you specifically, Laura, I'm talking to everybody. In your brain, you have full permission to eat all 600 calories of that dinner, come hell or high water, right? Because it's in your tracker and it's accounted for and it's in your numbers. Listening to your hunger and your satisfaction cues cannot be directly tied to that impulse. They have to be separated, because what if you get hungry and you go, okay, 600 calorie plate of food, and you start eating and you only get halfway through it and you realize you're no longer hungry? That compulsion is going to be there in your brain and be like, well, I tracked it so I can eat it. And it is in direct opposition to your satisfaction cues. Direct opposition. So you can track your food as long as you're okay with not actually consuming what it is you tracked. Or on the flip side, so that's if you're full before your plate of food is gone, right? On the flip side, what happens when you're tracking and you're having a day where you're particularly hungry? And if you're listening to your hunger and you're honoring your hunger, you end up eating more food than your tracker says is allowed. Mentally, what happens to you? Can you handle that? Because if your ultimate goal is to work on hunger and fullness cues, there will be days where you have to honor your hunger and directly disrespect what the tracker says. That will happen too. So the question then is, Lori, is where are you mentally on that scale? If you think you can disassociate the two things, then absolutely you can work on tracking while you are working on listening to your hunger and fullness. Make sure we listen to hunger and satisfaction, hunger and fullness. However, if you really want to work on getting in tune with your body, the tracking needs to go away. Basically, it's vegetable bingo card. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely a good option. Why can't I count protein grams? LOL. I keep thinking I'm not getting enough protein for muscle growth. Is it counterintuitive to count the protein? Yes, because you're going to go right back into your counting habits. What makes you think you're not getting enough protein? Have you stopped the gains? Are you still lifting strong? Do you still feel the way you said you feel great? So what reason do you have to believe you're not eating enough protein? And here's the thing: you are in complete control of what you choose for your food. And so while I am team Kim, go out there and get you a cake and learn how to be friends and make peace with the cake. PS, I'm working on a course that will help with just this, by the way, for all of my people who feel out of control around certain foods and restricted and emotional, like you're emotional eaters and you don't know how to handle it. I got something coming out for you for that. But you are in control of the food. And so while I want you to go out there and buy your cake and make peace with your cake, I also want you to feel empowered to be like, I actually need to make sure I'm having a high protein breakfast and have that high protein breakfast. And here's the thing: make your high protein breakfast, eat it until you're satisfied. And if it's not all gone, come back to it later. Come back to it later. Or do something like throw in a protein shake on days that you are working out if you are still hungry, right? Because sometimes when we're working out more, those are the days we need the extra food, or the next day, depending on when it is. But if you're working out, you're lifting hard, and you find you're hungrier, maybe those are the days that adding a little extra protein can help you. Just because we're intuitively eating, just because we got rid of the tracker doesn't mean we get rid of the nutritional concepts that we have learned, understood, and implemented into our lives. It just means we don't need numbers to tell us what we need. We need our body to do it. Stop trying to lose weight in January. All right. I don't weigh food or count protein grams overall, but I also know enough to look at a meal and know that I need to add a bit more protein. Yeah, I did the same thing. And I actually sat down today and I wasn't like wildly hungry for dinner. But again, I was like, I don't want to wait until I don't want to eat a pork dinner at 8 p.m. I just didn't want to do it. So I sat there and I was like, okay, Brianna, less potatoes, less green beans, more pork because you need a little bit more protein today because had Crumble cookies for lunch. So I think you need, and that's exactly the conversation I had with myself. I had my afternoon food was Crumble cookies. And that's fine. And it's totally fine. And I wasn't even very hungry. But I was like, you need your nutrition. And so I modified my plate. I got rid of some of the starch because I knew I had all the cookies, right? So that wasn't really important. I didn't add a fat because it wasn't important. I had the fat in the cookies. So my focus was protein for my meal tonight. I don't know how much protein I had. Somewhere between 3 and 5 ounces. Couldn't tell you what it was, but I knew I needed more to balance out my day. So that was the choice I made was based on what I'm putting on my plate, less of the other 2 macros, more of the protein macro. For example, the other day I saw my breakfast was lighter in protein, so I added a 3rd egg. Yeah. I've tracked away all my food for years. I'm having trouble getting past the feeling of I'm not reaching my 130 grams. And so what if you aren't? That's the thing. Some days you might hit it naturally. Other days, you probably won't. And that's okay. I'm going to scroll back up to your comment where you said you feel really good. That should be the only thing that matters. And Kim, I want you to go into the Discord channel and I want you to update us a little bit more. Has your weight changed? Has your measurements changed? How, like, give us all the dirty details. I want to hear all about it because Fall in the Fitness Discord is very quiet. I want y'all to come in and update me. What the heck is going on? I want to get inside your brains and hear what's happening. So write me a novel, Kim. Write me a freaking novel. I want to hear all about it. But the bottom line is you feel fabulous. What more is there? What more is there? And I'm the same way. I've, been pounding protein for years and I don't think I'm not getting enough. I feel great. I feel great, all things considered. And that should be what matters the most, right? Yep. Absolutely nothing to make me think I'm not. It's just something regularly I'm not regularly on my mind. I'm not getting enough. I have no basis for it. There's nothing. Oh, I guess I should keep reading your stuff, but there's nothing that says that you're not. Your muscles aren't deteriorating away into nothing. Your scale is not ballooning up in some astronomical way. There's nothing that says you're not getting enough protein. What about the husband who's been my biggest cheerleader say, go back to what has worked for you the past 6 years? So here's first of all, you gotta explain things to the husbands in a way that they'll understand. But you also have to, and like, no offense, I love you, but like at your age, what really matters to you? What is the thing that really matters to you? Are you looking to fuel your body optimally for health and wellness and longevity and energy? Or are you trying to get to a, some vanity number? That's the thing. And I think that is one of the most powerful things for me. I keep getting messages regularly from a handful of different people on Instagram who tell me that, my scale's not moving and this and that and whatever. And so I have gone from responding with, here's the troubleshooting things, to literally wanting to shake them and being like, why does it matter? Why is the scale the thing that we care so much about? Y'all, is our weight printed on our tombstone? Here lies Lori. She managed to make her goal weight before she died. Here lies Brianna. She managed to maintain a 50-pound weight loss. Here lies Kim. She didn't eat enough protein. No. What do the tombstones say? What's the stuff that matters? We don't walk around like Sims, you know that game with like and they have their little like green diamonds about their head that tell you like overall how their mood is, green, yellow, red, whatever. We don't walk around with the data floating around like that. We don't. Maybe someday in the long future with all the creepy AI stuff that's coming now, maybe one of these days we'll have a thing where we have the glasses like you see in some of those shows where like it can scan you and like pulls up all the information on people. I can almost guarantee that our weight's not going to be on that then either. All our profile, can you picture it? All our profile comes up and it says gained 0.2 this week. No, that's not the stuff that they're going to be putting on those profiles, even when technology like that does exist. It's not going to be a thing. So, what are you solving for, Lori? What are you solving for? Are you solving for health or are you solving for a number? I ask that to all of you. Are you solving for your health or are you solving for a number? If you did every single thing that you normally did on a weight loss journey, on a healthy living journey, on everything, but you took the scale away. No more scale. Everybody scales. Poof, bye-bye. Does that mean that you don't pursue health? No. Does that mean that you throw your healthy diet in the trash? No. It just means that we don't have numeric we don't have numeric validation. What if instead of stepping on the number on the scale and being concerned about that stupid number, we all put the scales away and counted on things like our clothes fitting? Counted on things like how strong we're feeling, how hard we can press at the gym, how much energy we have in the day to day. Measurements. What if we took the scales away? What happens then? Just out of curiosity. I just came back from meeting with a friend from over 60 years. I haven't seen him in about 25. He lives in California. I'm in Maryland. He's visiting the area for one day. That's an amazing high, Michelle. That's an amazing high. What a wonderful day. That's awesome. If it really worked, there'd be no reason to go back because you'd still be doing it. Mic drop. I had an epiphany just now. I don't have trust in myself. I know what portions look like. I just second guess. And the whole point, Kim, the whole point of intuitive eating is to regain that trust in yourself. Why do you think your body is going to let you falter? Your body, the one thing that I have learned, oh, I'm over. I am sorry that I am over, but I'm not sorry because y'all got me started. Y'all got me started. The one thing I have learned is since letting go of the tracking, weighing, measuring, I have gotten into a deeper relationship with being able to listen to my body. Does this sound good? Does this not sound good? Does this feel like something I need? I can't tell you how many days in the last 2 weeks I have not had a full meal because I just was not feeling full meal. I'm like, one night I came home from choir rehearsal and I was on my way home. I was thinking about my ice cream bar that I was going to have. I'm driving. Like, all right, I'm going to have an ice cream bar. And then I was like, I don't think I'm hungry enough for an ice cream bar. Okay. This is a 40-minute drive, mind you. So I have a lot of time to think about stuff like this. And then I realized about halfway home that I was hungry, but the ice cream bar was not the thing that I wanted. Do you know what I wanted? Cheese. I wanted full fat cheese. For whatever reason, my body said, do you know what you need right now? It's cheddar cheese. And so I came home and I had some cheese and crackers instead of a dessert before I went to bed that night. That's what my body told me. And that's so I listened. So I listened because clearly a little bit more fat, a little bit more protein was something that I needed. And my body told me as such. But until you give your body permission, until you make your body, when you look at your body and you go, I trust you to tell me what you need. And it starts to believe you, like, eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're satisfied, like doing those things with regular occurrences is what tells your body, oh, she's listening to me again. Awesome. This is great. That is when the more in tune to that you get, the more your body will trust you, the more you can trust your body. And it becomes this beautiful cycle. It's a beautiful cycle. But it's super important to have faith that you know your body. Because you do. I have utmost faith that you know your body. You need to have faith that you know your body. The 130 gram number is completely arbitrary. Nobody knows exactly how many grams of protein your body needs. It's just a guess. It's true. It's true. That protein thing is basically what I'm going through with not tracking my steps or my fitness metrics. Now I want to put it in my will so it is in my tombstone. You're right, Alyssa. The protein's just an educated guess. The numbers are important. That are important. Blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, pulse ox. Yes. There are numbers on your health journey that are important. Weight isn't it. Weight is not it. Thyroid numbers, hormone levels, iron levels. I can give you so many numbers that are important, but weight isn't it. Healthy and to wear the 10 plus size pairs of size 8 jeans I own. Great. So focus on healthy. Do the things that are going to get you to healthy, and that will follow. That will follow. Because if your goal is health, if all of us are sitting there and actually, honestly, in pursuit of health, we are going to make decisions that will also lead to the ideal body weight for our bodies, not our ideal body weights in our head. What our body decides is our ideal body weight. What our body decides. And our body will get us there. It's going to be slow. It's going to be painstakingly slow. I want to let you in on a little secret. I've been weighing myself every single day. Like I said, and Flo's a knockin', right? My weight was up this much. 0.4, maybe. For the height of PMS. And I'm up 0.4, which is nothing. It's no hormonal weight gain. None. Zero. Zilch, which means the weight gain is, I'm sure, is still there, but the weight is going down slowly. But who cares? Because I feel awesome. I've let go of tracking. I've repaired my relationship with food. All of these things are so much more important than what the number is actually doing. But as a metric, because I'm somebody who can unplug the metric, if my weight spikes, I go, that's interesting, and I move on with my day. So it's fascinating to me to actually watch this happen. And in active pursuit of health, we make those choices that encourages our body to do what we need it to do. It's hard to get away. I know, but it's awesome. You haven't tracked consistently probably since March. So here's the thing, Lori. Why do you think that is? I'm thinking it's because you're done. Honestly, I'm thinking it's because you don't want to anymore. That's what made me stop. Every day I open the tracker and I'm like, I don't freaking want to do this. I don't. And Kim and I swore back and forth that we would be trackers for the rest of our lives. And look at us now. There's a reason you haven't tracked consistently since March, Lori. There's a reason. And it's not lack of willpower. It's not lack of self-control. It's none of those things. I promise you. I'm getting tired of eating. So try new foods. My favorite question to ask people is, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? Honestly. And if the answer is the scale might spike up half a pound, check yourself. Check yourself. Get it together. Because if that's the thing that scares you, the scale has no right to be here. That's something you need to work through. That's something you need to get rid of. Because weight fluctuations are normal. And again, you don't wear that number on your sleeve. It's not tattooed on your wrist. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. What's the worst thing that happens? The scale spikes? So what? So what? I was a complete mess before I stopped tracking my food. I had to stop. Exactly. Sick of it. Yes, and the reason you're snacking mindlessly, I'm certain, is because you think you're being bad. It's restricted. So what I want you to look at, Lori, is I want you to take this next week and I want you to look at the composition of your meals. Is every macronutrient represented on your plate at all of your meals? Do you have a fat? Calories be darned. Calories be darned. Listen to your hunger. Listen to your fullness. Do you have protein, fat, and a carbohydrate represented, ideally with fiber, at every meal? You should have all three of those components. You should be striving for health. Health is not fewest calories as possible, y'all. Sometimes health means consuming more calories, but of higher quality, right? Lauren is sick of it too. Girlfriend, come tomorrow night. We'll talk. Come to the goal Zoom tomorrow night if you're available. And yes, we all need a divorce from the numbers. I'm going to leave you all with this. There is so much freedom on the other side of divorcing the numbers. And again, it's not that I don't weigh myself. I weigh myself every freaking morning. And this month I had the audacity to weigh myself every morning for the last 5 days, knowing that Aunt Flo was right around the corner. I was like, let's just see. Let's just see. But the difference is I have divorced myself from the numbers. It is no longer something that makes me go, oh, the sky is falling. It's just information that I love watching as my body is going through everything that it's going through. Because what's fascinating is it's normalized. There's no, my crazy weight spikes have really gone away, quite frankly. And it's bizarre. And I can't even tell you why. Chicken, mashed potatoes, and carrots. What was your fat? Did you have a fat in there? Because here's the thing. Most of the time, we are uncontrolled with snacks for 2 reasons. 1, we think they are bad. We think we're being naughty. And once we start being naughty, it is hard to stop being naughty, right? The second thing is we're uncontrolled with snacks because we're not eating enough. And our brain loses control because our body sees an opportunity to get the calories it needs and it takes it. But by that point, we have gotten so far over the edge that we go past fullness and we overindulge. So here's my challenge to you, Lori. Here's my challenge. Just do it for a week. Just try it. Try it. Are you in my new free Facebook group? Join the free Facebook group if you're not. A little butter and the chicken skin. Oh, good. You left the chicken skin on. Fantastic. Talk to the community or message me on Instagram. I want to hear about this. But here is your challenge. Here is your challenge. I want you, don't worry so much about the tracking. Don't worry about it. What I want you to do is eat when you're hungry. And I want you to pay very, very close attention. Don't eat distracted. When you stop being hungry, stop eating food. That's all I want you to do this week, is when you're no longer hungry, stop eating food. And it might mean that you eat 5 or 6 times in a day. But as long as you stop when you are no longer hungry, you're fine. You have full permission to eat your food if you are hungry. That's the only caveat. You have to be hungry. Okay? Try it. Just try it and see how you feel. At first, you're going to feel uneasy. It's going to feel weird. Trust the process and listen to the body. Listen to the tummy. I haven't been looking at the numbers because I know that it isn't going to serve me in any way. Perfect. That's great. I'm a very detailed person. I need to know a reason for everything. Yes, I've learned that about you. It just doesn't. You don't need a reason. Don't need just let it go. Let it go. The number for there are some people like me, I can handle the weigh-ins. I can handle the fluctuations. It's taken a lot to get here, but I can do it. There are other people, I'm going to use Lisa as an example, who knows she can't and therefore she doesn't have them. She unplugs from them. And there is a lot of awesome self-awareness in that. And it takes a lot of power. It takes a lot of power to be able to do that. But she does it because she knows it's better for her. And there may come a time where she decides to implement them back in, and that's fine. And there may come a time when she's just like, you know what, I'm never weighing myself again. And that's also fine. It doesn't matter. Because is she pursuing health? Is she actively making sure that she's getting healthy things in, nourishing her body well, moving her body on a regular basis? Yes, she is. And that's what's important. There are days I'm not sure I feel hungry, but I don't want to not eat for a whole day. Then you use practical hunger. If you haven't eaten, for more than 5 hours being awake, have a little something. Because your body needs to regulate. I am learning, I'm seeing that I have gotten hungry so much more frequently first thing in the morning. Not every day. There are still days that I don't eat breakfast until 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning. But there are other days I wake up and I'm hungry at 7. And I immediately make myself breakfast because my body says I'm hungry. So especially in the morning, if I hear it calling, then I will give it food. But there are days that I don't. And it's just like, meh. And I'm not hungry until 10:30 or 11. And that's fine too. That's fine too. Yep. Love it. Love it. No. And I think you're on the other end of the spectrum, and I think you need to weigh yourself less frequently. Do not weigh yourself more. Do not weigh yourself more. Every person is individual. I found power when I started weighing myself more. You should not weigh yourself more. You should probably weigh yourself less. That's my thoughts. But anyway, I'm 15 minutes over, y'all. I can hear my husband on the phone with somebody, and I don't know if it's a conversation I need to be participating in or not. So I'm going to let y'all go. Thank y'all for listening to this, because I'm going to think of every time we chat, every time this topic comes up, I'm going to just shake you a little bit more. Shake you a little bit more. And it's all out of love. It's always out of love. I'm never going to shake anybody to hurt you. I'm going to shake you to try and knock some sense into you. We don't need to worry about the number on the scale. We need to worry about pursuing health despite the number on the scale. Number on the scale doesn't matter. Find a different metric. Find a freaking different metric. There's your challenge this week. All right, friends, people who are on the fence, people who are finding it hard to track your food because you just don't want to, it's your brain telling you something. Okay? It's your brain telling you something. I was there. I was there just 4 months ago. Your brain telling you something. Okay? So there's that. If y'all are interested in joining the membership community, if you want to come to the goal setting chat tomorrow, link is down below. That's all she wrote, friends. I will talk to you all later. Yes, Lissa says physical and mental health, in pursuit of both healths. Y'all have a good one.